It was a hot summer afternoon in a small town in Georgia. The sun was shining bright and the air felt heavy with heat. Malik Carter, a 13-year-old boy, was riding his old, rusty bicycle down the quiet road. He had just finished work at the community garden where he helped grow vegetables for local families. His clothes were simple, his shoes worn out, but his eyes were full of hope and dreams. Malik's family didn't have much money. His mother worked 2 jobs to take care of him and his little sister, and Malik did his best to help whenever he could. The town was small, and most people knew each other, but Malik often felt like an outsider because of how little he had compared to others. Still, he was proud of himself for working hard and staying kind to everyone. As Malik pedaled slowly, his thoughts wandered. He was thinking about how much he wanted to go to college one day and study to become an architect. He loved drawing buildings and imagining how he could make the world a better place. But college seemed like a faraway dream for a boy like him. Suddenly, Malik noticed a black luxury car parked on the side of the road. Its hazard lights were blinking, and the driver was standing outside looking worried. Malik stopped and looked closely. The man was tall, wearing a clean white shirt and black pants. He seemed upset and unsure of what to do. Without thinking twice, Malik got off his bike and walked toward the man. "Hello, sir," he said politely. "Do you need some help?" The man looked surprised. He was not used to kids stopping to talk to him, especially in this quiet place. Yes, actually," he replied. "I have a flat tire, and I don't know how to fix it." Malik smiled. "I can help," he said confidently. "I've changed tires before." The man hesitated but then nodded. "Thank you. I'm Julian." "I'm Malik," the boy said, already reaching for the trunk to find the spare tire and jack. Malik's hands moved carefully but quickly. He was used to fixing things on his bike and had learned how to change a tire from his uncle. As Malik worked, Julian watched him closely. The boy was focused and careful, wiping sweat from his forehead. There was something honest and strong in Malik's eyes. Julian felt a warmth in his chest he hadn't felt in a long time. Within a few minutes, the flat tire was replaced. Malik stood up and wiped his hands on his pants. "There you go, sir. You should be good to go now." Julian smiled. "Thank you, Malik. You really saved me today." Malik shrugged. "It's no problem. I'm glad I could help." Julian reached into his pocket and pulled out some bills. "Please, take this as a thank you." Malik shook his head. "No, sir. My mom says helping others doesn't need money. It's better to do good without expecting anything back." Julian nodded, impressed. "Your mom is wise." For a moment, the two stood quietly. The hot sun beat down, but something felt different, like a small bridge had formed between two very different lives. Julian looked around the simple town and asked, "Do you go to school nearby?" "Yes," Malik said proudly. "I'm in 8th grade. What do you want to be when you grow up?" Julian asked, curious. Malik smiled brightly. "I want to be an architect. I love designing buildings." Julian's eyes softened. "That's a wonderful dream. You know, architecture is all about creating spaces that make people happy." Malik's smile grew. "Yes. I want to help build homes for people who don't have any. Places where kids can play and families can feel safe." Julian was quiet for a moment. He realized Malik's dream was bigger than just buildings. It was about hope and community. "Well, Malik," Julian said finally, "it was really nice to meet you. If you ever want to talk more about your dream, just let me know." Malik nodded. "Thank you, sir. I will." Julian got back in his car, started the engine, and drove away slowly. Malik watched the car disappear down the road. For a moment, he felt a spark of hope he hadn't felt before. He got back on his bike and rode home, thinking about the strange, kind man and the small moment that had just happened. When Malik reached home, his mother was waiting on the porch. She smiled when she saw him. "How was your day?" Malik told her about the flat tire and how he helped the man. His mother listened carefully, her eyes shining with pride. "That was very kind of you, Malik. Helping others is one of the best things you can do." That night, Malik lay in bed, thinking about Julian and the conversation they shared. He looked at his small notebook filled with sketches of buildings he wanted to design someday. Even though life was hard, moments like this gave him strength. He whispered to himself, "One day, I'll make a difference. Not just for me, but for everyone who needs a home." Outside his window, the stars began to shine, quiet and steady. Malik closed his eyes, dreaming of a future built with kindness, hard work, and hope. A few days after the hot summer afternoon when Malik helped Julian with the flat tire, the boy couldn't stop thinking about the strange man. Julian Ford was not like anyone Malik had ever met before. He was polite, calm, and seemed to care about more than just money or success. Malik wondered what kind of life Julian had lived to make him so serious yet kind. Malik's days were busy. He went to school, helped his mother with chores, and worked at the community garden. But sometimes, his thoughts drifted back to the black luxury car and the man who had smiled at him with respect. Malik's mother noticed her son was quieter than usual and asked gently, "What's on your mind, Malik?" Malik smiled softly and said, "I met someone who said he wanted to help me with my dreams." His mother looked curious. "Who?" "Julian Ford," Malik replied. "He's a millionaire, and he invited us to visit him in Atlanta." Malik's mother was surprised. She had heard of Julian Ford. He was famous for building one of the largest technology companies in the world. But no one in town had ever met him. "Are you sure this is safe?" she asked carefully. Malik nodded. "He sent a letter. It's polite, and he seems nice." After thinking for a while, Malik's mother agreed. "All right, but we'll call him first. I want to hear his voice and make sure he's real." Malik called Julian the next day. His voice was warm and calm on the phone. He explained that he wanted to meet Malik and his mother to talk more about Malik's dreams and to show them his world. Malik's mother felt a little less worried after the call. "He sounds like a good man," she said. A few days later, Malik and his mother packed a small bag and traveled to Atlanta. Malik was excited and nervous. He had never been to a big city before, and he wondered what Julian's house would be like. When they arrived, Julian was waiting outside a beautiful modern home surrounded by trees. He greeted them with a gentle smile and open arms. "Welcome, Malik, Mrs. Carter. I'm happy you came." Malik noticed how calm Julian seemed. His voice was soft, and his eyes looked kind. The house was full of light, and everywhere Malik looked, there were books, pictures, and interesting objects. It felt warm, not cold like he had expected a millionaire's home to be. Julian showed them around the house, then invited them to sit in the living room. "I know things can be hard sometimes," Julian said quietly. "But I believe in helping people who want to change their lives. Malik, you have a dream, and that's special." Malik looked down at his hands. "Sometimes, I worry that my dream is too big for me. That I'm just a boy from a small town." Julian shook his head gently. "No dream is too big if you believe in it. I was once a boy from a small town too. I didn't have much, but I worked hard and kept hoping." Malik's mother listened carefully. She could see how much Julian cared. It wasn't about money or power, it was about kindness and belief. That evening, Julian cooked dinner for them. It was simple but delicious food, and they talked about their lives. Malik shared stories about school, his friends, and his love for drawing buildings. Julian told stories about growing up poor, about the people who helped him, and about the importance of never giving up. After dinner, Julian took Malik to his private study, a room filled with blueprints, models, and books about architecture and design. "If you want, Malik, you can use these to learn more," Julian said kindly. "I'll send you books and courses, too." Malik's eyes widened with surprise and joy. He felt a warmth inside, a feeling that someone believed in him. Before bed, Malik and his mother sat on the porch, looking at the stars. "Julian is different," Malik said softly. "He doesn't just want to help because he's rich. He really cares." His mother smiled. "That's true kindness, Malik. Not everyone has it." The next day, Julian took them to visit a small art museum in the city. Malik loved the paintings and sculptures. Julian explained how art and design could change a person's life. "Architecture is not just about buildings," he said. "It's about creating places where people feel safe and happy." Malik listened carefully. He felt his dream growing stronger. Before they left, Julian handed Malik a small notebook and a set of pencils. "Keep drawing, Malik. Your ideas matter." Malik held the notebook close. It was more than a gift, it was a promise. On the drive back home, Malik looked out the window and smiled. His life felt different now. He knew the road ahead would not be easy, but he also knew he was not alone. Back in the small town, Malik began working harder. He drew new buildings in his notebook every day. His mother noticed the change too. "You have fire in your eyes," she said. "I'm proud of you." Malik thought of Julian and the kindness of a stranger who had changed his life in just a few days. He knew this was only the beginning. And deep inside, Malik believed that one day, he would build something beautiful, not just with bricks and stones, but with hope and kindness. A few days after returning home from Atlanta, Malik felt a new energy inside him. The visit with Julian Ford had opened a door to something he had only dreamed about before. He spent hours drawing buildings and imagining new designs. Every sketch felt like a small step closer to his dream of becoming an architect. One afternoon, Malik was helping his mother in the kitchen when the mail carrier arrived. Malik went outside to get the letters. Among the usual bills and advertisements, one envelope stood out. It was thick, with no stamp, and written in elegant handwriting, "Malik Carter." Curious, Malik ran inside and showed it to his mother. Her eyes widened in surprise. "This is from Julian," she said quietly. Malik carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a letter, written in neat, clear handwriting. "Dear Malik, it was a pleasure meeting you and your mother last week. I enjoyed hearing about your dreams and seeing your sketches. I believe you have a special gift. I would like to invite you and your mother to visit me again in Atlanta. I want to help you take the next step toward your dream. Please think about it, and let me know if you can come. With best wishes, Julian Ford." Malik's heart beat faster as he read the letter twice. He looked at his mother with wide eyes. "What do you think, Mom?" She smiled gently. "I think Julian wants to help you. This could be a big chance for you, Malik." Malik nodded, excitement bubbling inside him. "I want to go." His mother hugged him tightly. "Then we will go. But remember, Malik, no matter what happens, your heart and hard work will lead you forward." Over the next few days, Malik and his mother prepared for the trip. Malik packed his sketchbooks and pencils, feeling hopeful but also nervous. He wondered what new lessons Julian might have for him. Would the city feel different this time? Would Julian be as kind as before? When the day arrived, they traveled once again to Atlanta. This time, Malik felt more confident. He remembered the kind words Julian had said, and he was ready to learn. Julian welcomed them warmly at his home. "I'm glad you could come back," he said. "Today, we will start exploring how to turn your ideas into reality." After a simple breakfast, Julian took Malik to his study, where blueprints and models covered the walls and tables. Architecture is more than just drawing, Julian explained. It's about understanding people and their needs. Malik listened carefully as Julian showed him how architects think about light, space, and comfort. He handed Malik some tools, rulers, measuring tape, and special paper for sketching plans. Try making a drawing of your own house, Julian suggested. Malik worked quietly, focusing on every line and curve. Julian watched with a smile. You have a good eye, he said. With practice, you will create amazing designs. Later, Julian invited Malik and his mother to a local community center where young people learn skills like painting, music, and building. Places like this matter, Julian said. They help children grow and find their talents. Malik's mother looked around the center with wonder. I wish we had something like this back home. Julian nodded. Maybe one day, Malik can design a center like this for his own town. Malik's eyes lit up. The idea of building a place for children to learn and play made his dream feel even stronger. That evening, Julian invited Malik and his mother to a small dinner party with some of his friends, people who worked in art, design, and education. Malik felt a little shy at first but soon found himself talking about his love for drawing and his hope to make a difference in his community. One of the guests, a woman named Clara, smiled warmly at Malik. Your ideas are beautiful, she said. Keep drawing and never stop believing in yourself. After the party, Julian walked Malik and his mother to the door. I'm proud of you, Malik, he said. Remember, every big dream begins with small steps. Malik nodded, feeling stronger than ever. Thank you for believing in me. On the drive home, Malik looked out the window, clutching his notebook filled with new sketches and notes. He felt a deep hope growing inside him, hope that his dream was real and possible. Back in his small town, Malik shared everything with his friends at school. Some were amazed, others curious. But Malik didn't care about their opinions. He was focused on his path, a path that felt brighter than ever before. At home, his mother noticed the change too. Malik worked harder, drawing after school, and talking about new ideas for buildings that could help people. You're doing great, Malik, she said one evening. Keep going. Malik smiled and looked at the letter Julian had sent. It was more than paper to him, it was a symbol of kindness and opportunity. As the days passed, Malik's confidence grew. He understood that his dream was not just about designing buildings but about helping people and making the world better. And deep inside, he knew this was just the beginning of a journey that would change his life forever. When Malik and his mother received Julian's second invitation to visit his home, they knew this weekend would be special. The first visit had sparked something new inside Malik, a hope and belief that his dreams could come true. But this time, Julian wanted to show them more than just his house or talk about ideas. He wanted them to be part of something bigger. They arrived at Julian's home on a bright Saturday morning. The sun filtered through the tall trees, casting soft shadows on the modern house. Malik noticed the flowers blooming in the garden, the birds singing nearby, and the calm feeling that filled the air. It was a peaceful place, far from the busy streets of Atlanta. Julian greeted them warmly at the door. Welcome back, Malik, Mrs. Carter. I'm glad you're here. Inside, the house felt alive with stories. Books lined the walls, and photographs of people and places Julian cared about were carefully arranged on shelves. There was an energy here that was not about money or power, it was about life and meaning. After a light breakfast, Julian sat down with Malik and his mother in the sunroom. I want to tell you about why I do what I do, he began quietly. I grew up in a small town, much like yours, with very little. My parents worked hard, but money was always tight. I didn't have many chances at first. Malik listened closely, his eyes wide. Julian smiled. I was lucky to meet someone who believed in me. They gave me a chance to learn and grow. That changed everything. Now, I want to do the same for others. Malik felt a strong connection. He saw in Julian's story a mirror of his own hopes and struggles. Later, Julian took Malik to a large room filled with blueprints, models, and tools. "This is where ideas come to life," Julian said, spreading out drawings of buildings, parks, and community spaces. "Architecture isn't just about buildings, it's about people. It's about creating places that bring joy and comfort." Malik picked up a pencil and began sketching on a large sheet of paper. Julian watched quietly, offering gentle advice. "Think about what you want people to feel when they enter your building. Safety. Happiness. Freedom." Malik thought deeply. He sketched a community center, a place where children could play, learn, and feel safe. His pencil moved faster as the idea grew clearer in his mind. When Malik finished, Julian smiled warmly. "You have a gift. Keep nurturing it." That afternoon, Julian took Malik and his mother to a nearby park where a group of children played under the warm sun. Julian explained, "I help fund projects like these places where kids can be kids. I want to help you one day build something like this in your town." Malik's heart filled with excitement. "I want that, too. I want to help my community." Julian placed a hand on Malik's shoulder. "And you will." In the evening, Julian invited a few friends over for dinner, a small group of artists, architects, and teachers. Malik listened as they talked about how design could change lives. One of the guests, an architect named Sarah, shared stories of building schools in poor neighborhoods. "You have a powerful dream, Malik," Sarah told him kindly. "Keep believing in yourself, and you can make a difference." After dinner, Julian gave Malik a gift, a set of professional drawing tools and a notebook filled with inspiration. "These are for you," Julian said. "Keep dreaming and working hard." Malik held the gift carefully, feeling its weight and meaning. That night, Malik and his mother sat on the porch of Julian's house, looking up at the stars. "This weekend has been amazing," Malik said softly. "I feel like I can do anything." His mother smiled and nodded. "You can, Malik. You have the strength and the heart." Before going to bed, Malik opened his new notebook and began to draw. He sketched the community center from earlier, adding details and colors. Each line was full of hope. The next morning, Julian sat with Malik and his mother over breakfast. "I want to help you beyond this weekend," he said. "I believe in your future, and I want to support you." Malik looked at Julian, eyes shining. "Thank you. I won't let you down." Julian smiled. "I know you won't." As Malik and his mother prepared to leave, Julian handed them a small envelope. "This is for school supplies and books. Keep learning, Malik." Malik felt tears of gratitude rise. "Thank you, Julian. You've changed my life." Julian shook his hand firmly. "No, Malik. You changed mine." On the drive home, Malik thought about the weekend and all he had learned. The kindness and belief of one man had opened a door to his dreams. He knew the path ahead would be challenging, but he felt ready. Back in his small town, Malik returned to school with new energy. He shared his drawings with teachers and friends, inspired to keep working toward his goal. His mother watched proudly as he talked about architecture and community with growing confidence. That night, Malik wrote in his notebook, "One kind act can change everything." He smiled, knowing that weekend had done just that. The weeks after Malik's second visit to Julian's home passed quickly. Back in his small town, Malik felt like a new boy. The experiences, the lessons, and the kindness Julian had shown gave him a fresh sense of purpose. Every day, Malik worked harder on his drawings and schoolwork, dreaming bigger than before. One afternoon, while sitting under a big oak tree at school, Malik opened his notebook filled with sketches of buildings and community spaces. His best friend, Tay, came over and looked at the drawings with interest. "Malik, these are really good," Tay said. "You have talent." Malik smiled but shook his head. "It's not just talent. It's hope. Julian Ford believes in me. He says I can make a difference." Tay looked curious. "Who's Julian Ford?" Malik explained how he had helped a man with a flat tire and how that man turned out to be a millionaire who wanted to help him follow his dreams. "Wow," Tay said, impressed. "That's amazing. You're lucky." Malik shrugged. "I'm just lucky he cared." At home, Malik's mother noticed her son's growing confidence and encouraged him. "You're working hard, Malik. Keep going. Your future is bright." Malik nodded, but deep inside, he worried. How could a boy from a small town, with little money and few connections, really become an architect? The road seemed long and uncertain. One day, Malik decided to write a letter to Julian. He wanted to share his worries and ask for advice. Carefully, he wrote about his dreams and fears, and about how much Julian's kindness had changed him. A week later, Malik was surprised to receive a letter in return. Julian's words were warm and encouraging. "Dear Malik, I am proud of you for working so hard. Remember, every dream is built one step at a time. There will be challenges, but your heart and persistence will carry you through. I want to help you build a bridge, not just a real bridge, but a bridge between your dreams and reality. I'm arranging a scholarship for you to attend a summer architecture program in Atlanta. This program will give you new skills and introduce you to people who believe in your future. Keep drawing and dreaming, Malik. I'm with you." Julian Ford Malik could hardly believe it. A scholarship. This was the opportunity he had been hoping for but never thought possible. He shared the letter with his mother, who cried tears of joy. "This is your chance, Malik. Take it." As summer arrived, Malik prepared for his trip to Atlanta once more. This time, it was for a special program where he would learn more about architecture and meet other young people who shared his passion. At the program, Malik was nervous at first. The other students came from big cities and had experience with art and design. But Malik's kindness, curiosity, and hard work soon made him stand out. He spent his days learning about drawing, building models, and understanding the needs of different communities. The teachers were impressed with his creativity and dedication. One afternoon, Malik was paired with a group to work on a project, designing a small community center for a neighborhood in need. Malik's ideas about safety, light, and comfort guided the team. He sketched carefully and explained why spaces should feel welcoming. His team listened and nodded. "You have a real talent, Malik," said one of his classmates. "Your designs make sense." For the first time, Malik felt he belonged in this world. His dreams were no longer distant, they were becoming real. Julian visited the program once, smiling proudly as he watched Malik work. "You're doing well," he told Malik. "Remember, the road is not easy, but you're strong." Malik smiled back, grateful for the man who had believed in him from the start. When the summer program ended, Malik returned home with new skills, new friends, and a heart full of hope. He brought back stories and ideas, and a plan to create a small project for his town, a place where children could play and learn safely. Malik shared his plan with his mother and teachers. They were amazed and promised to help. With Julian's support and his own hard work, Malik began talking to community leaders about building a small community center. It was a big task for a boy, but Malik was determined. One day, Malik stood in front of the town council, speaking with confidence about his dream. He showed his drawings and explained how the center would help children and families. The council members listened carefully. Some were surprised that a young boy had such ideas, but many were impressed by Malik's passion. After the meeting, Malik's mother hugged him tightly. "You spoke well, Malik. I'm proud." Malik smiled but knew the work was just beginning. He understood that building his dream was not just about designing buildings, it was about building bridges between people, between hopes and reality. And with every small step, Malik was crossing those bridges, moving closer to a future filled with kindness, hope, and the power to change lives. After Malik's presentation to the town council, a quiet excitement began to grow in the small community. People started talking about the idea of a community center, the place Malik dreamed of building, where children could learn, play, and grow safely. It was a big dream, but the seeds had been planted. Malik knew that dreams needed more than hope, they needed action. And this time, he was ready to take the first step. One Saturday morning, Malik and his mother visited the empty lot where he hoped to build the center. The land was bare, with some grass and a few trees. It was not much, but to Malik, it was full of promise. "This is where it will be," Malik said, looking around. His mother smiled. "It's a good place. The town can see it from the main road." Malik imagined a building there, with bright windows and open doors. Children running inside, laughing and learning. The thought made his heart beat faster. To make the dream real, Malik needed help. So, he and his mother began to visit local businesses and neighbors to talk about the project. They explained why the center was important and asked if people would support it. At first, some people were unsure. "A community center is a big job," one man said. "Where will the money come from?" Malik nodded. "I know it's hard, but I believe if we work together, we can make it happen." Slowly, the community began to listen. Some families promised small donations. Others offered tools or materials. A local carpenter said he would help build the center. Malik's mother helped by organizing meetings and writing letters to ask for help. Malik kept drawing plans and sharing his ideas with anyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Julian stayed in touch. He sent books and materials, and even called to encourage Malik. "You're doing great," Julian said. "Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps." Malik smiled every time he heard Julian's voice. It reminded him he was not alone. One day, at school, Malik's teacher announced a special event, a fundraiser to support local projects. Malik knew this was the perfect chance to raise more money for the community center. With help from his classmates, Malik prepared a presentation about the center. He showed his drawings and explained why it was important. At the fundraiser, Malik spoke confidently to the crowd. "This center will be a place for all children," he said. "A place where we can learn, play, and feel safe." People listened carefully, and many smiled and nodded. By the end of the event, Malik had raised more money than he expected. He felt proud and grateful. As the weeks passed, work on the community center began. Volunteers came to clear the land, build fences, and prepare the ground. Malik helped wherever he could, learning new skills and watching his dream take shape. One afternoon, Malik stood with the carpenter, Mr. Thompson, who showed him how to measure wood and use tools safely. "Building is about care and patience," Mr. Thompson said kindly. "Every nail matters." Malik listened closely, eager to learn. The community center slowly grew from the empty lot. The walls rose, the roof went up, and soon the building looked like a real place, not just a dream. Malik's mother often visited the site to bring snacks and support. She was proud of her son's courage and determination. One evening, after a long day at the construction site, Malik sat with his mother under the stars. "I can't believe this is happening," Malik said softly. His mother smiled. "You worked hard. You made people believe." Malik looked at the sky, feeling hopeful. The day finally came when the community center was ready to open. The whole town gathered for the celebration. There were smiles, laughter, and music. Malik stood by Julian, who had come to see the center in person. Julian looked at Malik with pride. You made this happen, he said. Your dream is now part of the community. Malik smiled, feeling a deep joy. He knew the journey was just beginning, but this first step had changed everything. The center was filled with children's laughter and the hope of a brighter future. Malik understood that kindness and belief could build more than buildings, they could build dreams, and change lives forever. The day the community center opened was one of the happiest days Malik had ever known. The whole town came out to celebrate a bright, sunny morning filled with music, laughter, and warm smiles. Malik stood proudly near the entrance, holding his mother's hand, as people passed through the doors to see the place he had dreamed of building. Julian Ford was there, too, standing beside Malik with a gentle smile. He looked around the new building with quiet pride. You did something wonderful here, Malik, he said softly. Malik looked up at Julian, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. I couldn't have done it without you, he said. Julian shook his head. You had the courage all along. I just helped you believe it. Inside the community center, children ran and played, their laughter filling the bright rooms. There were shelves of books, colorful artwork on the walls, and spaces designed for learning and fun. Malik's sketches had become real places where children could grow safely and happily. Malik's mother stood nearby, her eyes shining with tears of joy. I'm so proud of you, Malik, she whispered. Malik smiled, feeling warmth in his heart. This was more than just a building. It was a symbol of hope, kindness, and the power of dreams. As the day went on, Malik met many people who thanked him. Teachers said the center would help children learn. Parents said it would be a safe place after school. Malik felt proud knowing he had helped make a difference. Later that afternoon, Julian invited Malik and his mother to sit outside under a big oak tree. The soft breeze made the leaves rustle gently. Julian looked at Malik thoughtfully. You know, Malik, Julian said, this is only the beginning. You have a gift, and the world needs your kindness and ideas. Malik nodded. I want to keep learning and building. I want to help more people. Julian smiled. Good. Remember, every dream takes hard work and patience. But with your heart, you can do great things. Malik thought about all the steps he had taken, from helping Julian with his flat tire, to learning in Atlanta, to building the community center. It had not been easy, but every moment had been worth it. Over the next months, Malik continued to work hard. He finished school with good grades and earned a scholarship to study architecture at a university. Julian stayed in touch, guiding and encouraging him along the way. Malik's life was changing, but he never forgot his roots or the kindness that had helped him start. One day, standing in front of his university class, Malik shared his story. He spoke about the power of kindness, the importance of dreams, and how one small act can change a life. His classmates listened, inspired by the boy who had come from a small town and built a community center with hope and hard work. Years later, Malik returned to his hometown not just as a student, but as a young architect ready to give back. He helped design new buildings and spaces, making the town a better place for everyone. At the center of it all was the community center he had built, a symbol of what kindness and belief could create. Malik knew the journey would continue, but he was ready. Because now, he understood that every kind act, every small step, and every dream mattered. And with that, Malik's story became more than just his own, it became a story of hope for everyone who believed in a better tomorrow.